What's going on, guys? My name is Bernard Grace, and in this video we're gonna fire up this old Commodore VS Commodore for the first time in a long time. Now this has been one of those projects that has been haunting me for a while. I've actually gone ahead and changed a few parts, and the problem was that you weren't able to start it when you actually turned it over to get it going. She'd just wind over and wind over and wind over and keep going like that. So what we've done is we've replaced the coils, we've replaced the fuel pump, the fuel filter, and I've checked that the Hall effect sensor on the harmonic balancer is actually working. I did that by taking off the spark plugs off the coil and watching the sparks just jump across. It actually killed one of my old mobile phones doing that. So that was fine, and then I turned and decided to do a shotgun sporadic approach to this vehicle, and I went out and bought the cheapest fix to what I thought would have been the problem, which was the fuel pump. And it turns out that there wasn't a fuel pump. After I installed the fuel pump, she still wouldn't start. So after a little bit more thinking, I realised that whenever you turn the ignition on and off for about 6 times, she then kick over. So to me, that tells me that it's a fuel pressure issue. The fuel pump, when you turn the ignition on, is kicking on for the first 5 seconds and building the appropriate. It's actually the appropriate time frame for the pump to build up the correct pressure in the fuel rail system. But if the fuel pressure regulator is leaking, then you're not going to get the same pressure and it's not going to start. So after turning on and off for about 6 times, it's actually built up the fuel pressure enough for it to kick over. So what I should have done was I should have put a fuel pressure tester on the different circuits and diagnosed it properly that way, but I didn't because I did the shotgun approach. When I pulled the fuel return line off, I found out that it was indeed the problem, because when you turn the ignition on, the fuel would just spit straight back out the end side of the regulator. So I went to Repco and I priced a regulator over there, $250. I went to the closest independent automotive store where I live, and they quoted me $190. I went online and did a bit of quoting online at different eBay and whatever else online. And a new one is the cheapest that I could find was about $120. So I went to the wreckers. I don't like putting second-hand parts in cars, because at the end of the day you're going to put a used part that's going to fail in a shorter time frame than what a new part would. So what I've done is pretty much only a diagnose or fix to properly determine what the problem is before splashing out a little bit more money on the correct part to get the thing going. So that's where we're at. That's where we are at right now. I've put the regulator in, and I've got to do a few more little bits and pieces. I've got to hook the battery up. Hook the battery up and get it going. So let's go. Hopefully this battery got enough charge after sporadic testing I have done over the previous couple of times. Take my tool off that. Fingers crossed this is going to work. I'm actually pretty excited for this moment. And it goes on. I have the fuel pump go. Now it's we're going to wind over a little bit because there's actually no fuel in the system, so I'm not expecting a miracle straight off the bat. And I don't have enough charge. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just throw the battery on charge and get it going, and then we'll test it another day. This is take 2 of the start of this thing. I put the pressure regulator back in last night, and went to go start it. It's just flat. So this is take 2. Take 2. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So I put a new battery in it, and we'll give it a whirl. I don't think it'll start straight away because you've got to build up fuel, and it'll have a lot of air in the system. We might have an electrical issue. I've only just got it loosely on there at the moment, just so we can get it going and test it. So there could be a connection issue in here. We've got to get some dielectric grease to create a better connection on the terminals. I have the battery on charge or not. Someone's jinxing me. Maybe too far gone. Give that a whirl. Seems very sporadic, doesn't it? Mm. We almost had a start there, I reckon. Got everything connected. Just checking for fuel leaks. Put the second hand pressure regulator. Put the second hand O-ring as well. So checking for fuel leaks there, nothing. Just turn the key on and off to get the fuel up into the fuel rail. It's almost.
Not quite doing it. I'm trying to.
Try again. If I can get it going and get it running, then stop it, then start it. That's what.
Can you turn your radio off?
No,
Might be draining as well.
it's not. It's not a battery issue. As that happens. Battery a wiggle again. It's getting pretty warm. I'm definitely going to have to fix that terminal. It almost wants to start. How far was it? That was tea.
Shortly.
Battery jiggle. Just started today.
Is that normal when it sparks?
No,
Off that BV?
this one,
The other one.
this one,
No, the other. That black one.
this one,
No, the other black one.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's degraded. I've got to redo that connection. That's probably half the trouble. I'm going to redo that connection to the battery terminal.
It won't start, you know. That's for sure.
Hey,
It wants to start.
it's got almost that initial kick over, which is what I want. But I want it to actually start properly as well. It almost goes, you know.
Is it the earthing?
Well, the earth. That's what I'm saying. The battery terminal's almost
Yeah.
gone with it, but definitely needs to be fixed. Before we even go further. Not today. Right, so I've got to. That's still recording, yeah. So I've got to recharge the battery. The negative on that is, if you have a look at your, if you get a look on that negative over here. It's all real loose. There, it's pretty crummy. I want to get. I'm using screwdriver because it's too hot. I've got to get I've got to get another clamp to replace that. Clean these terminals up so there's better connection. So there's a better connection on those terminals. Recharge the battery and have another go tomorrow. Because I reckon that's our next problem at this stage. It's not getting enough power running to the starter motor to get it cranking enough times for the fuel to go through the system in order for it to start. I might have a look and see if there's a way to see if you're supposed to bleed the system too. I may be missing a step. I'm not 100% sure on that. Righto.